Okay, welcome to the May 9th chat. Seems like we're going to have a small group of people gathering today. We're only at 63 so far. We must have some competition someplace outside. So we will start with some announcements. Sharon Gouveia.
Hi, everyone. I hope all of you are excited about our next wind down trip. We're not going to a far off destination, but rather we are going back in time to the roaring 20s to a speakeasy. As you know, this is Prohibition time, and Eileen was having a difficult time getting some bootleg liquor. But fortunately, here at Newbridge, we have a concierge that can handle so many requests. We had to slip him a couple of bucks, but he managed to pull it off. And also the speakeasy is a private club where you need a password to get in honor of our bootlegging friend. The password is Joe.
Hello.
Me. I'm going to repeat that because there was
Yeah.
a section there. The password to get by the bouncer at the speakeasy is Joe sent me. So put on your glad rags and meet us in Great Meadow Hall next Thursday, right after the Zoom chat. Bring your passports so we can stamp them with our special sticker. To get you in the mood for the 20s, catch the movie, The Great Gatsby, on 9/18 sometime this coming week. Thank you, Jerry. Hope to see you all there.
Thanks, Sharon. And now Bob Orkin.
Thanks, Jerry. I want to, with Jerry's permission, offer a brief report on what the NMA Council has been up to. For those of you who are new to our community, or for those who may have forgotten, the NMA, that is Newbridge Members Association, is an association of the residents in Independence at Newbridge. And the purpose of the NMA is to enhance the community by providing a vehicle for communication between residents and management. The NMA Council consists of 7 representatives elected by the community. Each Newbridge building, the villas and the cottages, are served by a representative. And there are 2 at-large representatives as well. So Frank Bachner represents the 1st and 2nd floors of the 4000 building. Barbara Nadich represents the 3rd and 4th floors of the 4000 building. Anna Marcus represents the 3000 building. Paul Blass represents the villas. Sid Josephi represents the cottages. And Charlie Small, an at-large representative, is representing the 5000 building. I am a member at large as well and serves as NMA president. And Paul Blass is our vice president. Prior to COVID, the association sponsored several community gatherings a year. But during COVID, Jerry Weiner created the weekly chat, which has replaced the community meetings. It has become an excellent way for management and various committees to share information and get feedback from residents. I know we are all grateful to Jerry for creating this wonderful communication tool. The primary way that the NMA Council receives information about community concerns is through floor meetings. And members of management are invited to those meetings to share information and get feedback from you, the residents. The information gathered at the floor meetings is brought back to the NMA Council and to Matt Hollingshead, who attends our council meetings. And in addition, members of management come to NMA Council meetings to share information that can be brought to floor meetings and to hear questions and concerns that may have been raised at those meetings. So if you want your voice to be heard, go to the floor meetings. And at the same time, you will have an opportunity to get to know those on your floor in a better way. At our last NMA Council meeting this past Monday, we had as our guest Sarah Grondell, the head of housekeeping for the entire campus, both inside and out. We were not aware of the number of people whose job it is to keep this place clean. There are 42 housekeepers on the campus, 18 project workers who set up for special events, those who wash linens in assisted living and long-term care, and those who are responsible for the common areas, for moving trash to the collection point, and the annual deep cleaning that each IL apartment receives when residents are arranged for that service. Those of you might not know that there are 16 housekeepers, each of whom is responsible for 16 apartments. That's a lot of work indeed. A question that constantly arises from residents is what the housekeepers are allowed to do. The short answer is that they are responsible for cleaning flat surfaces. Much more is done during the annual cleaning. And if you'd like to know more, there is a section in the resident handbook that provides much more information. At our next meeting in June, we'll hear from Fernando Rodriguez, Newbridge Facilities Manager. And so if there are questions or concerns that you would like raised at our meeting, contact your NMA Council representative. Well, that's it for today. Thanks, Jerry, for giving me the time.
Thank you very much, Bob. And now Christina Rice.
Thanks, Jerry. So I am here to get some information. A local pickleball company called Boston Pickleball has reached out through a connection, and they are offering some of their services to the residents. So if you're interested in pickleball, either kind of open court time or a session to learn how to play pickleball, I ask that you reach out to me, just give me your name, and if we have enough interest, I will work with them in creating some sort of either visit or information session or actual a learning session on how to play pickleball. So again, if you have any interest in learning how to play, get in touch with me. Call the gym 49312. Thank you.
Thank you. Rabbi Judy.
Hi, everybody. I would like to remind you about two special events coming up and one that you don't know about yet. The first is that on Monday, May 13th, is Israel Memorial Day for fallen soldiers and victims of terror. We have never observed this day before at Newbridge, but given the state of the Middle East, we're going to be doing that this year at 4:30 to 5:30 in the synagogue. And then at 5:45 or so, we will transition into Israel Independence Day dinner, which is generally a very festive occasion. It will be less festive because of the state of the situation in the Middle East. And we will think about how one celebrates and both grieves side by side simultaneously. And then the following week, on May 21st at 2:00, Tuesday, we'll have a gathering in the synagogue with for conversation led by Bob Orkand. I will be there as well, dealing with trauma, looking at American college campuses and the situation in the Israel-Gaza war. So there'll be refreshments and an opportunity to sit at round tables and to schmooze about these concerns that many people have shared with us. So thank you, and I hope to see you at these events. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Tara Fleming Caruso.
Thanks, Jerry. So I just want to announce that our next educational session is Tuesday, May 14th from 2 to 3 in the synagogue. It's in person. And it's on LTCCH and the 4 M's. And people are asking me, what does that mean? Fair question. I'm so glad you reached out. So LTCCH stands for Long-Term Chronic Care Hospital. And that is what we have in our 7,000 building. And the 4 M's stand for what matters most, medication, mentation, and mobility. We've been named an AIDS-friendly health system by the Institute for Healthcare Improvement because we follow these 4 guides, the 4 M's. So I've worked with Dr. Liff to create this presentation. She's very excited. We'll see as many of you as can attend, I hope, next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Most importantly, there will be cookies. See you then.
Thanks. Charlie Small, you have a question.
Yeah, yes, there was a bit of a problem with my sound. So, Rabbi, can you repeat the date of the discussion regarding college campuses, et cetera?
Yes, it is on Tuesday, May 21st at 2 o'clock in the synagogue, and there will also be cookies and refreshments there and conversation, and Bob Orkand will lead the discussion.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Carol Hausman.
This is in response to Christina's report on the pickleball. I don't understand why we're learning about pickleball if we don't have a court. I've been here 4 years, and for 4 years I've been trying to get Newbridge to install a pickleball court, and there is none.
So Carol, it would be going to this facility called Boston Pickleball, which is located in Hyde Park. So we would be going to their facility. We do not have one, and there's no plan to have a pickleball court here. So we'll go off campus for it if you're interested.
That doesn't sound so good.
I will say that Fox Hill just went and they had a pretty good experience, but if we can talk more offline if you'd like.
Okay. All right. Larissa Levitch.
Thank you, Jerry. So I'd like to remind you about a special event that we are hosting tonight. But following into Tara's and Rabbi's steps, I'd like to start with the most important thing. I will also offer cookies tonight. So, but that's not why I hope you join me and Jerry. We are really hosting very special guests. The name of the program is Face to Face with a Master Musician. And the master musician who is gonna come and perform for us today is a composer, performer, and improviser, Eden McAdams Somer, who is considered one of today's most exciting and versatile artists. And the fact that we were able to bring to Newbridge the musician of this caliber is her connection and our connection to Larry Rootman, the person well known in Jewish circles who recently wrote a book when he interviewed some outstanding musicians of New England. And his book and he himself is an inspiration behind this program. Larry will come and introduce Eden. I think that you're gonna love the concert. I ask for a huge variety of cookies. So I hope to see many of you. I'm done. Thank you.
Thanks. And I somehow, because I go back with Larry to when he came on the Brookline town meeting back in 1955, I'm introducing Larry, who was introducing Eden. So I hope we'll see you all tonight. It should be interesting.
So now you understand, it's not only about special guests, but like Jerry introduction means a lot. So you don't want to miss that as well.
Uh,
Thank you, Jerry.
So Josh Ferrara, go ahead.
All right, Jerry, I just have a brief announcement and then I'll turn it over to Eileen, who's got some additional announcements. But I just wanted to mention in the dining communications this week, you'll see a guideline about how to register and place your orders for special events, the dining events that you wish to attend. This stems from we saw in the Israeli Independence Day dinner, although we're up to almost 100 guests, which is great. We saw about 75 to 80 of them turn in paper order forms, and only maybe 20 to 25 register through the website on the online version. This was in contrast to what we saw at Purim, where it was a complete opposite, where about 75 to 80% used the electronic version, and only about 20 to 30% signed up using the paper forms. So I'm hoping that maybe this will clear up some questions if there are any. We really encourage, when you can, use those processes, ordering to go, registering and ordering for special events, to use the online option. It alleviates the possibility of lost forms. It helps alleviate any inability to read some handwriting and having to call and clear things up. There are many advantages to it. Mostly on our end, I'll admit, but I'm hoping that the residents who do use it do find it a little more convenient, and that's obviously the end goal. If you ever have any questions about a particular event, if you'd ever like some guidance one-on-one on how to sign up, myself and Chelsea make ourselves readily available. Most of the other team members of management and dining are also on board with this process, so you could ask them as well. And then with that, Jerry, I'll turn it over to Eileen.
Oh, hold on for just a second, because we have a couple of questions.
Sure. Oh, of course. No problem.
And we have Faith Busking, but before that, in the chat, Sandy and Bonnie are asking, just wondering, are we too late to sign up for the dinner on Monday celebrating Israel Independence Day?
Yes, I believe the paper order forms were due by Monday. We extended the electronic online till Wednesday. It's my understanding that the floor plans and seating assignments have been pretty much done. And so, yes, we have passed the cutoff date for that.
Okay, thanks. Now, Faye.
All right, my question is, if you do it online, will we get a confirmation?
Yes, thank you. That's a great question, Faye. And that actually is explained in the guideline, again, going out in the dining communications tomorrow, which will also be available on the electronic weekly packet on the website. But yes, if you enter the information correctly, including, of course, your email address, you will get an email confirmation that reflects the items that you ordered as well, just to double check. Thank you, Faye.
Thank you. Any other questions on that subject? Then let's go ahead with Eileen.
Hi, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well today. Just one or two little things. First of all, I hope to see you all next Thursday at the wind down, and don't forget the password. Joe sent you, please. Because we have mighty bouncers there, so we have to keep it quiet and keep it hush. Don't tell Matt a thing. So also, we're starting a new pilot program in Copper Beach. And what we're going to do is, starting next Monday, May 13th, in the Copper Beach, you are welcome to have 2 guests in the Copper Beach, 2 guests per unit. It's a first come, first serve basis, and this is in the Copper Beach. And as also a reminder, you can also have guests welcome in Nosh Monday through Friday. But just to remember that on Sundays, it's only resident only in the Nosh. And that's just for space, to make sure that all our residents are able to have some space on a Sunday. So starting Monday, May 13th, in the Copper Beach, you are welcome to have guests, 2 per unit. It's on a first come, first serve basis. And also in Nosh, obviously Monday through Friday, you're also welcome to have guests. And it's just on Sunday that it's resident dine-in only. All right. And again, it's a pilot program. We'll see how it goes and we'll keep you updated. So that's it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, any questions? Yeah, Charlie Small, go ahead.
Thank you, Eileen. Just want to confirm that with the change in Copper Beach, are the meals in Copper Beach, though, still buffet with the guests?
It is still buffet with the guest. And what we have done is we have added an extra server in the Copper Beach. And we will have 2 servers. And some residents will be very happy to see who the server is. I'm not going to say anything because you need to go to Copper Beach to see.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Okay. Well, thank you, Eileen, and we're ready for you now, Matt.
Thank you, Jerry. I wonder who that server could be. That's great, Eileen. Good stuff. Just a quick update on the irrigation here. We have 1 pipe left to repair, which is actually a great achievement. When you turn on the water on a campus of this size, there's always things that happen every single year. So as expected, but that's the one last piece of the puzzle to be repaired. And then the irrigation will be on across the entire campus, which great job to Kevin and AQPS and Fernando and his team. That's great stuff. Last week on the chat, there was certainly some confusion over recycling. And thanks to Mitch Freeman, Mary Jane Milner, our friends at Republic Waste Services, we got some great clarity on that. And you'll see that in my letter tomorrow. But for those of us that are on the chat today, the best thing you can do is just keep it simple. If you have a bag full of recyclables, empty the bag of recyclables into the recycling bin. If the bag is paper, that is recyclable. If it is not paper, such as plastic, then it is trash. Plastic bags gum up the equipment that they use to sort through the recyclables. And then, of course, if you have trash, trash should be going down the trash chutes. Okay, so again, the idea is to empty it all out, keep it simple, and that'll be very successful going from there. Again, thank you to Mitch, who did a great job bringing this issue up. And of course, to Mary Jane Milner, who did a wonderful job reaching out to Gretchen Carey at Republic Waste Services, getting everybody in touch, coordinating, and getting to the bottom of this recycling conundrum. I see a waving hand, Jerry.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah, Faye, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm wondering if the cleaning ladies know that rule, because I noticed yesterday stuff that had been from my apartment and it had not been emptied out of the bag and it did have bottles in it.
I had this conversation with Sarah Grondell, the director of housekeeping. She has a housekeeping meeting with the entire team. I believe it's tomorrow morning, and she's going to be going through the details of recycling with them at that moment.
Okay, good.
We're not making the assumption that they do. They should. They've been trained. However, there's an opportunity to train them again. So we're going to take that opportunity.
Thanks. Terry Union.
So to answer, that's a good question, Faye. So the environmental committee is preparing, first of all, posters to hang in each of the trash rooms, explaining what can and cannot be and how it should be handled. And furthermore, I'm glad that Sarah's on board, because we were going to ask also that her staff knows about the situation, but there will be information there for them to guide them to do the right thing.
That's wonderful, Terry. Thank you.
Thank you. So Larissa, you had your hand up.
Yeah, thank you so much. Just a quick announcement. This Sunday, we are canceling the fireside chat. We expect a lot of families be around, and we just are going to cancel it for this Sunday.
Okay, thank you. And hold on, Rona, Mayor Fine.
Talked about paper bags can go into the recycles, but the plastic should go down the chute. I assume you don't want empty plastic bags dumped into the chute without something to weight them down.
That would be preferable. Could create quite a small issue if those clogged up the chute. And I think that we're still recycling bags, the bag group, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's also another opportunity to use those bags and turn them into composite decking that will, serve a great purpose for many years. So please keep that in mind as an alternative for those plastic bags.
Okay, and Rona Goodman.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Rona.
I want to get back to Copper Beach for a minute. I've been thinking about it, what you said, that you can bring 2 guests with you when you go there to eat. However, the residents here won't know how many guests are eating there. So when they come down, say at 5:30 or 5:45, there may be so many guests eating there that they won't be able to eat. So what are the residents going to do at that time?
Thank you, Rona.
You have to go down there at 5 o'clock, in other words, if you're a resident?
So
Go ahead.
Rona, you definitely run the risk of filling up. That's a great point. But we have seen some really big fluctuations. There are nights in the Copper Beach where there are fewer than 5 or 6 people total.
Depends on the menu.
Correct. I would agree with that, and also the night and where reservations were made, Rona. But we have had many residents speaking up about wanting guests. Now, as Eileen had mentioned, this is a pilot program. As you know, when we make these sorts of adjustments, Rona, there are times where we, down the road, say it's working extremely well and we can expand on it. And then there's some times where something may need to be tweaked and we may need to pull it back. So as Eileen had mentioned, the pilot program, let's see how this goes. If there are major conflicts, then we may have to make some adjustments, and we would continue to communicate that through this resident Zoom chat and in the culinary corner. Our goal is certainly not to turn anybody away, but to give the community as many dining options, sometimes with their family members or guests and sometimes without. So thank you for bringing that. It is a concern of ours as well, and we will continue to monitor it.
Eileen, did you have something to add to that?
Yes, thank you, Jerry. I just also wanted to add, you can still eat down in Nosh as well, if it's full in Copper Beach. Thank you.
Okay, Mitch Freeman. You're muted.
Okay, just want to make it absolutely clear, after Matt and his team clarify that we're Republic, they want the bags empty. Don't put bags in there. They do not empty bags. Just dump it in there. They'll separate the paper and the plastic and all there. They got machines and everything to do that. So to make it easy for you and for aides, just empty the bag in there and put the empty bag in. Don't just put the bag in there. It will not be recycled. So that's the way Republic wants it to be done. And that's the simple way to remember it. Just dump it in there. Empty the bag, I should say. Empty the bag, and then Republic will take care of the recyclables after that.
Okay, back to you, Matt.
Thank you, Mitch. Said like only you can say. Concise and to the point. I loved it. Similarly, I'm going to put a plea out there to the community again to consider not opting in for the weekly packets and to get them online. And here's the why. It takes Joe and Mark almost 4 hours every single Friday to put the packets together, okay? That includes 955 pages each week of 11x7 paper. If that weren't 11x7 paper and it were the normal paper, the 8.5x11, that would be the equivalent to 1,850 pages of paper per week. If you were to extrapolate that out for the year, that's 96,200 pages printed per year. That is a lot of paper. That's a lot of time. If it makes it into the recycling, that's a lot of recycling material. If it makes it into the trash, that's a lot of trash. This is one of those things here at Newbridge that we can actually control a little bit. So if you feel so inclined to help out Joe and Mark, please see Joe at the front desk or the concierge desk and let him know that you're okay with a digital copy, which comes to your email, and you can also access it on Touchtown. This would be incredibly helpful because this has become quite an undertaking on a weekly basis. So
Okay.
take questions.
Question from Mayor Fine.
I think the paper's 11 by 17, not 7.
Sorry, you are correct.
And you didn't mention all the toner it uses.
No, I didn't mention the toner. I'm trying to be cautious because this is not a money thing. It's really a bandwidth thing. It's about Joe, it's about Mark, it's about wasting
Trees.
Okay, so Terry Union. You're on mute. Okay, go ahead.
Apply to me, but I would imagine there are people, residents in Newbridge, who don't have the technology to go online. So how will you determine if there are people who need a printed copy, and how would they get it?
Terry, that's why we're asking people to opt out, not opt in. Go to the desk if you can get it electronically and let Joe know that you do not need a printed copy.
But so there'll still be printed copies for people that need them.
Correct.
Okay.
The goal is to significantly cut down on the printed copies.
Listen, I love it. Thank you very much.
Well,
Well,
I just, my heart is
the
breaking
better-
for Joe. I mean, Joe feels like,
The
and
hard
rightfully
work.
so,
Yeah, sure.
that he has to be here every Friday to put this thing together. And if he's not here, he feels so guilty because then Mark's picking up the slack.
Huge job, yeah.
And that means if we can give them back that time, that's time that they can spend focusing on other aspects of the community.
Lynette.
I just wanted to also make myself available to any resident who would just kind of want to walk through Touchtown or where information is accessible digitally. If that's a challenge or any challenge, just kind of talking through why the weekly packet is easier over digital. Like, I'm happy to help anyone navigate. So feel free to give me a call and we can schedule a time to kind of work through that together, if that would be helpful.
Nice.
Thank
And I would say take Lynette up on that. I do that all the time. She's more than willing to help. And I'll be the first to admit she knows a lot more than I do. So please.
Mitch Freeman.
Hey, Matt, I was talking to Cindy about getting more people to do auto pay on their monthly bills to make it easier for them. How can we implement that?
Good question. Right now, HSL Finance is in the middle of kind of reorganizing the way they operate. So it would be a good time to bring it up. I'll bring it up with them. I think they're trying to centralize operations a little bit more.
And also, if they can get rid of the hard copies and go online, that's 300 pieces of paper, I think, every week too.
Yep.
I mean, it's a lot of trees between the two of them that it's not necessary.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, there's a lot there.
Rona, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to get the bill for the amount of money that I pay monthly, because it's not always the same, and I like to see it before I pay it. So I wouldn't want an auto pay. You know, I have a lot of auto pays, but that's one that I would like to see.
Okay, Marlene Yesley.
I've done auto pay since I moved here. You get the bill several days before the money is taken out. It's very easy. So you see your bill and then you have time to react if there's a mistake.
Thank you, Marlene.
Okay, looks like we've answered those questions.
Great. And then the last thing I have is I got the resident satisfaction survey yesterday. Overall, very good. I think, you know, a little snapshot, I think 69% were incredibly pleased with living here. And then 21% were happy about living here. So overall 90%, because you look at the top two boxes, are very satisfied living here. 10% are not. And they go into all the reasons. So what I'm going to be working on with, after I share this information with the directors, I will figure out a way to compile the information. It's on a website, so we have to figure out how to get it off that website. And then we'll put it together, and then we'll share it with all of you via the community chat, so you can see the scores and how things landed. And then we'll probably highlight some of the positive comments and some of the negative comments so everybody can get a feel. But what we won't do is I won't be sharing with you 1,000 comments on the Zoom chat. But if at any point somebody wants a copy of it after it's been disseminated around the community broadly, I'd be happy to share that with you.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody want to throw some subject out? Okay, well, thank you.
Phyllis Hirsch has her hand.
Thank you. Phyllis, go ahead. I don't see.
In regard to the bills, and connected to that is, when can we begin to use a credit card to pay the bill?
Phyllis, good question. I'm out of my league on this one. This comes out of, you know, corporate HSL finance.
Sure.
I can invite one of them to join us on the Zoom chat, which might be helpful, and then we can ask a whole bunch of questions in regard to billing and all that kind of stuff. But I just don't have the information for you. My apologies.
What is auto bill?
It's where it deducts directly from your bank account on a monthly basis on a fixed date for whatever the bill would be. So you don't have to actively go ahead and either send a check through your bank or pay it through ACH or however function you use.
Okay, so I would love that, to be able to see whether we could use our credit cards to pay the bill.
I'll try to get somebody, maybe Rob Ferry or Carol Johnson. Those two individuals I think would be pretty appropriate to have on here.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm sorry I couldn't give you an answer.
Well, that's okay. Sure.
Mitch Freeman.
You don't have to know everything.
Oh, at home I do.
They're not gonna do credit cards. They're not gonna eat 3%. That's just too much money. So you can forget about that. It's just 3% of the rent here is too much to lose.
Point.
Okay, any other questions? All right, well, I hope I'll see most of you tonight, and we'll see you next week, same
Hey,
time.
Jerry, one last thing. If you don't
Yeah.
mind. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Nice, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.